One of the common questions that we get here from some of our customers is what differentiates us from some of the bigger box car audio retailers such as Best Buy, Audio Express, used to be Ultimate Electronics, and stores like that. And I wanted to make a video here to put up on the website here to kind of show you guys some of those answers to those questions before you ever come in, so you know kind of what you're dealing with before you even walk in the door. Some of the things that we take pride in being a small retailer, small business retailer, is that we still have a lot of passion for the industry. It's owned and operated by one person, only has a couple of employees, and we still operate with our customers' best interests in mind. We still really care about car audio, and some of the ways that I can demonstrate that for you here is, even though we have a relatively small place here, you know, with some plaques on the walls of our magazine coverage, or little display here of our speakers, amplifiers, subwoofers. And we got a little desk here, a nice little intimate setting where we can sit down and talk about what type of system would be good for your car, or anything like that. And we've got some things hanging on the wall here for you to look at while you're waiting for your car, so that we can demo some things for you. There's a lot of things that are very similar to a lot of those other shops, except a couple things that you'll notice is, first of all, we don't have any holes in our display board. Everything on the wall is nice and neat. The place is nice and clean. But some of the things that I really want to point out to you so that you can see the difference is the art of the demo here. A lot of times that is kind of lost on a lot of shops. They assume that they can play you a speaker and you're just automatically going to buy it, and they don't have to quantify or qualify you on why it's best for you or anything like that. The way that we built this display here is so that kind of all things are equal. If you look here, we've got 6 pairs of speakers, all component speakers in a vertical array here, and you see how they're all at this angle. Basically what that means is that every speaker here is aimed at basically the same point in the room, which is right about over here in this corner. Each speaker is in the same size enclosure. They all have the same amount of filler in there. They all have the same port on the top here, if you can see that in the back, which makes it sound more like it's in a door rather than in a box. They're all ran off of this amplifier here, which gets a signal from that and signal from that, and so on and so forth. Basically what I'm trying to say here is that every speaker is exactly in the same type of circumstances. So as you sit here and we demo it, your ears make the decision. You listen to the speaker and you're listening to only the difference that the speaker makes, not that I've chosen to throw more power at this one to sell this one instead of another one. It's all based off of what your ears think sounds best. As we do the demo, you can see here we've got these nice little mechanical connections here, so we unplug one and plug the other, and that determines which speaker we're listening to. And you see how they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basically we do it like an eye doctor. So you'll stand there and I'll play speaker number 1, and you say okay, and you listen to that and you see how it sounds. Then we'll play speaker number 2, and you say, oh wow, yeah, that one sounds a little bit better or a little bit worse or whatever, and it allows us to narrow down which type of sound you're going for strictly by you just standing there listening to it. It's really nice effective way to choose speakers for you. Our subwoofer display here is also something that you cannot get. I just about guarantee you can't get this display anywhere else in the valley. And one of the main reasons why I say that is you see down on the bottom there we got 2 10-inch subs. One of them's in a ported enclosure as notated by the little port that you see on the bottom here. The other one, the same exact sub, is in a sealed enclosure. Now these are 2 different styles of enclosures that most salespeople will never take the time to explain the difference to you, let alone know the difference. So you may have very well been better off with a ported enclosure, but you bought a sealed enclosure because nobody told you the difference. Well, here you can listen to this sub with 500 watts of power on it in a ported enclosure, and you can listen to the same exact sub, same exact amount of power in a sealed enclosure. So you can hear the difference that only the enclosure style makes. Very, very useful. Also moving up here, we have the ability to play a single 10-inch sub with 250 watts or 2 10-inch subs with 500 watts. So you can hear the difference that it makes by adding an extra subwoofer, adding some more power, or if maybe it's not in the budget to do the extra power, you hear what you get with just a single sub. Same thing with the 8. You got 8-inch here, so don't have a whole lot of room. Or you just like a real small format subwoofer, you can hear what that sounds like. Also versus 2 6-inch subs, which, believe it or not, can really, really get down. A couple other things that we demo here that you just won't find in other shops. Most shops you walk into and you see a bunch of aftermarket radios all on the wall. You got Pioneers and Kenwoods and JVCs and all this type of stuff all over the wall, and that leads most people to believe that in order to get a good sound system in their car, they have to replace the radio, which this day and age is not very practical for one, but it's also not true. You can definitely integrate with a factory radio with some of the devices that we show here. This here is a factory radio from a late model GMC Sierra. So we took that out and put it on display here so you can see that it is possible. We've got a sound system integrated with a factory radio here using the Audison Bit 1 right here. This device here basically allows you to take the speaker level outputs from the radio and connect them to aftermarket amplifiers with a bunch of other features like EQ, crossover, time alignment, and all that type of stuff. We're really big into integrating with your factory radio, keeping that nice, clean appearance. Some of the other ways that we do it is with some of these iPod, Bluetooth, auxiliary input integration devices, such as this one here from iSimple, which integrates directly with the factory radio, allowing you to control the iPod and everything from the factory radio. This one here is the Parrot MKI 9200. Which is like an add-on piece that allows you to do Bluetooth, iPod, auxiliary audio through the factory system with this steering wheel mounted remote control. Basically, the point of it all is that we focus on what's your best interest instead of what's easiest, what's the fastest, what's got the highest margin, things like that. You know, we're really still really into it. And when it comes to the installation, we're not ones to rest there either. Go through the door here. You got a little work area here with all of our parts. Everything's nice and organized, clean, so that you know that while we're working, we have everything we need. We're not cutting corners. We're doing the job right. Your car can come in here. We have room for 3, 4 cars at a time. We've got some racks that we built here to protect your equipment. If you go into other shops, a lot of times, guaranteed you're working, they're replacing speakers, they've got the door panels off the doors, they're probably leaning up against the wall, sitting on the floor, maybe they're in the back of the truck if you own a truck. Here we made this rack that's designed specifically to hold door panels. So you can see these little hooks right there. We can hold 2 door panels per side, and they basically just stack right on top of each other. So we hold front doors on one side, rear doors on the other side, and this little tray up here is for all the parts from your door. So things don't get lost. You don't come back missing a clip or a screw or a panel or, you know, scratched up door panels, anything like that. Over here we have all of our seat protectors, steering wheel protector, fender cover, everything. When the car comes in, it gets protected, it gets covered. So you know as we're sliding in and out of your car, we're not going to have something in our pocket that's going to rip the seat or anything like that. And then we have all these racks right here that we can store additional parts, running boards, dash panels. They're not going to be sitting on the ground or slid up underneath the car. They're going to be stacked here, nice, clean, organized. We also have these little plastic bins. We use these to store clips, screws, connectors from the car. So they're not just sitting, rolling around on the floorboard. They have a place to go where they're organized, and they'll stay there until they're time to be put back in the car. We've got all of our parts, all of our wiring, everything that we need all over there to build boxes, put together amp kits, everything, again, nice, clean, organized. We've got a soldering station over here, upstairs for storage. Last but not least, certainly not least, one of our specialties actually is custom fabrication. And we made sure to make that a central theme of this new shop. One thing that always drove me nuts in working at other shops is how cars that would come in for a simple radio install would leave covered in sawdust because it's just in the air everywhere. And you're breathing it all day, and it's just not nice. So we built this whole enclosed room here. That's all for our wood shop, and it's protected by these little plastic you know, kind of door thing, like you see in a warehouse. And when you come in, you see we got a full-on table saw. We have router tables for fine woodworking. We have a little work table. We have a chop saw, welder, wood chop saw, drill press, compressor. We have all the tools that we need to really get your car done the right way without, you know, kind of using a jigsaw and getting it almost there and it's good enough. No, it's going to be perfect. And one of the most important things of it all is our dust collection here, which you can actually see if I go back out here. our big old dust collection system up there. So the air stays nice and clean, nice professional atmosphere. Thanks for watching.